Thank you. It is considered a beacon of light, a signature of hope.
Yeah, whether or not you're a believer, the church has often served as a place of refuge in times of despair.
Well, tonight our Chris Frye examines the Black church and its role in social activism as our series, 400 Years, the Vestiges of Slavery in Cleveland, continues.
For African Americans, the church represents so much more than just religion. It has been the epicenter of the struggle for generations. Well, recently we sat down with a group of men and women of faith to see if the church has lost its way with the community.
The African American church has sustained the moral, spiritual, and even survival process of the African American community. This does not mean that the church has been perfect and on point at every step of the way.
With God, all things are possible.
When the world told us we were nobody, particularly for our men, when the world said that they were nobody, that they didn't have a title, that they were boy, the church said, you're somebody.
The idea was we're not going to be second-class citizens in the church because there were positions they could not hold, things they could not own or do in larger white church settings.
I met Dr. King as a student at Morehouse College, where he had attended. So you could not attend Morehouse without becoming acquainted with the King family. So when I met him, it was an obligation, it was a calling.
This was never the majority of people who were doing this. 90% of the black pastors in that convention sat out the civil rights movement.
How can we, in any way, not address what is happening in the world if Jesus was addressing what was happening in the world?
You don't have to be mega to have mega thinking.
If you talk to anybody too long, you start saying his name. You can't go 15 minutes and not mention the name of Jesus.
I've never forgotten where I come from. I'm a boy from the projects of Cleveland. There's no way God put me here in the city I was born in not to make a difference. That would be a tragedy.
Jesus is real. Bring your families, bring your friends, bring your children. Let's take our community back.
Every Sunday is not about social justice, but not to speak about it to mere rice. God is a God of justice. He's a God of mercy, but he also wants justice for the least of these.
When Michael Brown was shot and killed in Ferguson, Missouri, the black church did not respond. Young black people did. Over time, people just find ways to live without you. The Black Lives Matter movement is proof of that.
The miracle is what? You ain't let go of your faith yet.
Some black churches maybe are more fearful of what are the results of what does it mean to stand up and protest. Some of it is that disconnect from the historical reality of who we started out as.
And if we are not a station for liberation, really we have no vital purpose for our being, our existence.
And that's what the church has to be. Not a building, but a community of people who are attempting to move a group of people who survived racism to a group of people who are able to thrive in American democracy.
It is critical that church leaders come together in clergy groups, for example, and discuss the issues that are happening in the community. Then to reach out to the community leaders, civic leaders, call them to accountability.
Sometimes it's not just about protesting. Sometimes it's about radically loving people that other people don't love. Sometimes it's about revolutionary and radically serving people that other people do not serve. And then other times it is about being radical enough to speak the truth to the powerful and then speak truth for the powerless.
I think the answer is the church has got to be a lot more proactive and put something at risk by stepping outside the door.
These ministers say the church is indeed not dead, but alive, with the possibilities of a prosperous future. In our next report, we'll speak to a group of young people who have triumphed through their trauma. In Euclid, Chris Frye, 19 News.
Remarkable.
Absolutely impactful.
Yeah, the church means different things to each community it serves. And what a great insight Chris gave us to the imperfect service it gives as it tries to be better for its community.
Church has often been a safe place for African Americans in the community, and I am so proud of all the stories that we've done.
Yeah,
Great job.
We've got more to come.
We've got more.
Yep.